The minister warning now that the disruption in service could be very serious. He's calling on the union management of the Port of Montreal to resolve the dispute as quickly as possible. Well, it was a peaceful protest, but a loud one nonetheless, with an important message. Canadians in St. John's marching around the city on the weekend, shouting and carrying banners and signs and clanking pots and pans to express their demand for a public inquiry into the Toronto G20 summit and the way police acted during that summit.
Hey, ho, ho. Police state has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho. Police state has got to go. Hey, hey. Ho, ho.
And why you're here today?
And what this is all about is that there was over $1 billion spent on security by our government for one weekend. Most Canadians, I don't think, really understand what it was for. And I haven't seen, there were 1,000 people arrested, normal people, a bus driver, people on their way home from work, not charged and later released 24 hours later. We're not hearing their stories, you know. We want to know, what was the $1 billion for? You know, I think Canadians really want to know that. We see footage over and over again of police cars lit on fire that burned for a couple of hours. And I'd like someone to explain how that's possible and show me someone lighting it on fire. You know, like it seemed like the only people causing damage were a small group with bandanas over their face. Why were they not arrested?
You know, the cost is the first thing. These are supposed to be times of, you know, of economic kind of hardships, and they're talking about, at the very G20, they were talking about austerity measures that are probably going to be, you know, put in place soon in these countries all having trouble. And here we are throwing, you know, $1 billion+ dollars. It just seems like there's, you know, no consideration at all how much money that is. That's real dollars for every tax-paying Canadian.
I just want answers. I'm not pointing any fingers, but I think, like most Canadians, although in the news I don't think you're getting this impression, but most Canadians I talk to that understand what's going on want to know why. It's our money. It's not their money, it's our money.
At the Colonial Building in St. John's, defending civil liberties. Defending civil liberties.
No police, no justice, no peace. Police, no police.
Supposedly, what makes this country so great, allegedly, is no matter what your opinion is on any matter, politics or otherwise, you have a right to express that opinion peacefully and to do so freedomly.
I just want to share a quick little story about one example of how I saw that civil liberties were violated in Toronto. I caught a bus with about 40 other people, a school bus, from Ottawa to Toronto, which is a 5-hour bumpy ride on a school bus with no bathroom. But we were that dedicated. And on the bus, the newspaper article from the Toronto Star circulated saying that the McGuinty government had enacted the Public Works Protection Act. And it said that this applied to within 5 meters of the $9 million security fence they built. Now, within that 5 meters, they could demand identification and they could search you, which otherwise would be a violation of your civil liberties if they hadn't enacted this law. Now, we were heading down.
Well, the Farnborough Air Show has begun in a community outside of London, and one of the highlights of that huge air show has already happened. The landing of the 787, the latest opera.